So the other day I was having the girls checked out and I was wondering how the radiographers protect themselves from so much radiation. So in today's Good Things segment we have Meg, Tammy, and Kathy who are going to tell us about how they protect themselves from radiation. Hello ladies!
Hey
Hi, Martha.
Thanks for visiting us today. Kathy here is going to discuss ways that the technologists in the routines department keep us protected from radiation.
Thanks, Meg. Here in the radiography department, we are not exposed to the high levels of radiation as some of the other modalities. The protective apparel that my colleagues will be discussing is rarely worn here in the routines department. Here in routines, we are protected from the secondary radiation by the glass and protective barrier between the console and the X-ray tube. Only 4 layers of gypsum board or half-inch of plate glass are required for this barrier.
That doesn't seem very much. How do you know radiation is not getting through?
Well, Martha, every employee is required to wear a monitoring device like this film badge.
I've seen one of those before.
They're worn at the collar and are very sensitive, which means we are alerted to very small doses of radiation. They are typically read monthly, and we receive monthly and annual reports. These reports then become part of the employee's historical exposure.
Well, what kind of exposure levels are we talking about?
Martha, state regulators, OSHA, and the Nuclear Regulatory Committee monitor closely and set standards for exposure limits. Currently, recommended dose limit is 50 millisieverts per year for radiation workers. However, historical data reveals that occupational levels rarely exceed 1 millisievert per year for 88% of all radiology technicians.
Well, that's a good thing. Well, what about the patients that are too sick to come to routines?
Well, Martha, Meg is going to take you on a trip with the mobile unit so you can see how we're protected outside of the routines department.
Thanks, Kathy. Well, Martha, when the patients are too sick to come to us, we use this mobile imaging machine. And there's a few things we can do to protect ourselves, the people that work here in the hospital, and the patients.
Oh yeah, like what?
Well, first and foremost, always use the lead shield to shield your patient and shield yourself. Also, you always want to give the staff a heads up when you're about to x-ray so they can evacuate the area. X-ray!
So how far away do you have to be to not get exposed?
Well, the general rule is about 6 feet away, and that should go for about everybody in the room or anywhere in the vicinity of the portable machine.
And then what about scattered? How long do you have to wait till you go back into the room?
Well, remember, Martha, X-rays travel at the speed of light, and they always travel in straight lines, so it's not going to chase you around the corner or anything. And there's a few things that you can do too, like standing at a 90-degree angle to the central beam that can reduce your gonadal dose as well. And also, as a radiographer, I've taken on a moral code, and it basically says that I'm not going to play laser tag with this central beam. Otherwise, they could end up looking like my friend here and losing his organs pretty easy. So, besides, I think there's something that they call that. Pretty sure you can get into a lot of trouble for it too. Insider trading, maybe? Is that what that's called?
I think you're way off, Meg. It's called battery.
Well, that's not a good thing. When we come back from commercials, we're going to be talking about the highest exposure risk. I have Tammy here who's going to talk to me about the highest risk of exposure factors, which is fluoro.
That's right, Martha. Fluoroscopy is where 95% of the workers receive their occupational dose. Technologists can reduce their risk by following the cardinal rules of radiation protection: decrease time, increase distance, and increase shielding.
So how do you decrease time?
Well, Martha, there is a 5-minute timer on the fluoro equipment to let the doctor and staff know when a considerable amount of fluoro time has elapsed. Also, the foot pedal should only be depressed in an on-off fashion. It is okay to remind the doctor if he is standing on the pedal and not looking at the monitor.
So tell me more about shielding.
Well, Kathy will be glad to let you try some shielding. We wear aprons,
This is lovely.
and we wear thyroid shields. These are made of lead and can weigh up to 22 pounds. The doctors wear gloves and protective eyewear too.
Cool.
There you go, now you're protected.
It's heavy though.
For additional protection, we use a protective curtain and a Bucky slot cover on our equipment in the fluoro department.
What about distance?
Well, for distance, by taking 2 steps away from the patient, you reduce your radiation exposure from 300 millirads per hour to 5 millirads per hour. That's a 98% decrease. If you really want to be safe, take 2 steps behind the doctor.
Thank you, ladies, for all your time. It's been most informative. It's nice to know that there's measures to protect the hardworking X-ray technologists, and by following the cardinal rules of
Decrease time.
Increase distance.
Increased shielding.
everyone is protected. As we say goodbye, I hope that you learned something about radiation protection and safety.
It's a good thing.
Ow! You're taking pictures. Oh, God.
Go.
See the here is going to tell us ways that here we keep us.
Stop it.
Thanks, Meg.
Blooper. But yeah, I'm gonna bring my jacket.
Oh, how did I miss that?
To let you know when that you've used enough.
The other days,
The personnel, oh fudge.
So what kind of exposure levels are we talking about?
Well, Martha, they are read on a monthly basis, and we just alerted to extremely small levels.
Sorry, guys.
State my name.
To be protected. And anyone else that's in the vicinity of the portable machine. The technology department has Martha.
Oh no! To protect the X-ray
You're one of them.
State my name.